Hi guys, welcome to week 3 of me making an animation for the Detroit International Animation Film Festival here at SLAM. So it's been week 3, hooray! We made it to the 3rd week, 3 out of 10, and I want to talk about what I did this week. So this week was all about making different model sheets for my animation. And model sheets are basically kind of like character turnarounds. I think the last video I talked about character design, and I was making the different character designs digitally and coloring them. This week, I wanted to do all the views, so like front view, the quarter view, and then do the turnarounds of each character. And it was really fun, and it took a lot of time in the beginning of the week, and I wanted to focus like just on that. So Monday was just focusing on making all the character model sheets and everything like that, because I really wanted to get into the concept art. So when doing the model sheets, I think it makes you think about how your characters are going to look when you animate and how to keep them on model. So that means keep them like looking like how they're supposed to look. And so what's hard is that when you're turning around an object, you have to think about how they change in a way, because you're working with 2D, you're not working with 3D, so you have to use your brain kind of. It's like those like math questions that you got on like those IQ tests where like, look at this cube or this weird cubic shape, and they're like flipping it around. What does it look like now after you flip it to the right and to the left? You gotta have to think about that when you're like doing the model sheet. And there are a few model sheets that are a little bit difficult to make. I would say Red Winged Blackbird was his model sheet. It was like so hard because like his shape isn't like uniform all the way around. He's kind of like a oval almost, but it's like tilted a little bit. So he's like jutted out more to the back. To the side, he looks kind of like longer, but in the back, obviously it's more circular. So like spinning him around is a little bit difficult, and I had to try a few drawings just to get it right. And then I would say Kinji was also a little bit harder because Kinji is not a symmetrical drawing character. She basically has a walk that goes from her shoulder to like the end of her waist. And so like it's only one side. And so when she turns around, I have to make sure it's still on that same shoulder as she's turning around. And I usually, when I was doing these sheets, I would just like flip the characters horizontally. If it was like the back side, I would just flip it, get like the other side of the back side. So it was just a little bit easier to kind of manipulate that way. Or if I was doing a side view, I would just flip it so it would be the other side view. Kinji, I had to think about, what was on her body and stuff like that. And I don't have to move that also because she's not symmetrical like Tunda, for example. Tunda wasn't hard to draw, but he needs 2 character designs because during this in the script, he's basically changed his outfits. So I had to do him twice. Same thing with the Red Winged Blackbird. I am not honestly sure. Like in the script, the Red Winged Blackbird doesn't really like say idle flying. So I might have not needed to have his design standing, but maybe I could like incorporate that somehow in the animation. Yeah, I think those 2 characters were probably like the hardest to like kind of draw. The little girl is probably the easiest to do because I'm really used to drawing humanoid characters. So she was pretty easy to draw, and it was kind of cute to draw her, and I liked her turnaround a lot. It was very smooth. The moms was a bit interesting because I've never really drawn a character from that like waist down and stuff like that. Spiffy was also slightly difficult, but I wouldn't say he was as difficult as the bird to draw. Spiffy's turnaround came up pretty cute as well. He's a little dog, and I had to remember where to put the spots. So yeah, when I'm doing the animations, I have my model sheets ready. Another character I wanted to introduce was a Roly-Poly character. And I really don't understand how Roly-Polies walk and stuff like that. So this week I was studying a lot on Roly-Polies for like 2 days trying to understand how their legs move and stuff. So like when you're doing an animation, and like the animations that I'm like really inspired by or animations that are very slow and almost fluid, and I really wanted to get that kind of like animated look, I guess, with my Roly-Poly, because I have this scene in my head that's like really ingrained in my head that's going to be in this like short film, that I want these Roly-Polies to be like walking across the screen following the characters and stuff like that, almost like a cute little side character that doesn't really do much, but it's just like sets the tone of the environment. And so it was really important for me to understand how Roly-Polies walk. Then I kept going back and forth because Roly-Polies have like multiple legs, and I was only gonna work on 6 legs, and I was looking for 6-leg walk cycles everywhere, and I just couldn't find one that would like I would like it would click in my head how it works. Honestly, I was just like trying different things, trying to make test animation of what this Roly-Poly would look like on screen, and nothing really hit for me until I put the Roly-Poly on 2 legs, and it still had 6 legs, but it was like wobbling around like this. But when I put it on 2 legs and it was walking, I was like, wow, this actually looks kind of cute, and it's like endearing almost in a way. And it's only a test animation, so it's gonna definitely look different on the final product. But I kind of liked how the pace of the walk was too, and how it was kind of like he was a toddler almost walking. So I might even make it a little bit more dramatic when I actually do the animation, but I'm glad that I was able to do like a test animation of Roly-Poly because I really want to incorporate this character into the short film. So yeah, I worked on that. Oh yeah, and another thing I'm doing this week, or had to work on this week, because I'm not just working on my animation, I have to work on many different like aspects and stuff. And this week, I have my own slam jam. So here at Slam, a slam jam is basically like a presentation where you teach the group something that you know. And what I wanted to teach was flip books, because I felt like flip books is kind of close to animation, and it's like I really want to talk about something animated without, I guess, going through all the nitty gritty stuff of animation. So it's basically like it's like an easy way to get into animation. So a flip book is basically like a book almost like this. They also be sticky notes, sticky pads, and you would draw images on each little piece of paper. And then when you flip them, it gives the appearance of an animation. I thought this would be an easy way to teach people like the basics of animation and also talk about the process of animation too. I'm going to talk about kind of like the different jobs in the animation industry and have everybody kind of go through each job and create their own little flip book, thinking about all those things in mind. And animation's kind of had like, I'm kind of close to my heart in some ways. So as a kid, I was always in like situations where I felt like I didn't belong. And I think we can all kind of relate to that. Growing up, I got into like high school early and I was always the youngest kid in the class. And there was always that feeling like, oh, I'm not gonna fit in and stuff like that. And I'd watch like these shows, certain animated shows like Digimon Tamers. There's like the show called Jacob Tutu where it's like the character always had to say things twice because nobody heard him. Things like that were like really relatable to me in like TV shows and movies and stuff. I felt like, oh, I wish I could do something like that to like show people that even if you have this struggle or even if you're this way or this is like your personality and stuff like that, you can still become great or you still do what you want to do and stuff like that. On Nickelodeon back in the day, there were like these like commercial breaks where they would show you how to draw characters. And there was like how to draw Aang, how to draw SpongeBob and stuff. And those would really like inspire me. So I was like, wait, people like you can learn how to do this stuff? And like I didn't really know. Like there was always this barrier of like this was the finished product and I never knew how to get there, you know? So I think this is also why I'm doing these videos. I don't know how I'm gonna get to like this end stage of having this animation completed, but like showing people how I got there in each step I think is like really helpful. And maybe it's helpful for you guys, I don't know, but I'm hoping it is because like this is something I would have wanted when I was starting out and stuff like that. I like to know each step and to know the struggles. Like I'm not the best person at drawing everything. Like I'm not an ace at anatomy and stuff like that, but I'm still trying to do this project because I feel like it'll help me get to where I want to go. And this coming week is going to be a little bit more of like a relaxing time for me because I'm going to work from concept art and I can be a little bit more loose with my drawings and not have to worry about how the characters have to look all the time. So I'm going to do some concept art this coming week and then maybe get into prop design next week, or maybe I'll do both, who knows. I just want to make sure that the bulk of this SLAM program is going to be the storyboard because I know that's going to take a lot more time. Also, my plant, Aurelian, he's doing really good. He's thriving. I've been making machos too. I also want to thank you guys for 100,000 views on that Looking Young video on Instagram. You guys really crushed that one. Same thing with YouTube. It's doing pretty well as a long form. I think it's like 1.3 thousand views, which is like pretty good for a long form video on my channel. So thanks guys, and I'll see you later or on the next one or next week, or you know the drill. Bye. Also, if you want to support my journey, I'm selling stickers and sweaters on macattacksart.com. There's a bunch of different sweaters that you can look for. There's some Halloween ones and some Christmas ones there as well. And also some more chill cottagecore things. And stickers too, all kinds of stickers, like probably like 60 plus different sticker designs. So if you want to support me, go check it out, macattacksart.com. This sweater might be on there soon. I don't know, it's just a test, but I think it looks cool. If you guys like this sweater, I might list it. But just let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.